KCET's about to go.
The National Weather Service in Oxnard has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for north central Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 3:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 2:49 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Acton, moving west at 10 miles an hour. Hazard, 60 miles an hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Acton. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways.
Pancho met his match, you know, in the deserts down in Mexico.
And
Treasury Department window.
A thunderstorm warning for eastern Ventura County in southwestern California, northwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 2:33 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Santa Clarita, moving west at 10 miles an hour. Hazard, 60 miles an hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to roof, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Santa Clarita and Catholic Lake. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. You're listening.
if I forgot the EOMs. Please, please. Oh my fucking god, this thing's gonna jump scare me.
Northeastern Ventura County in southwestern California, northwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 4:45 Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. A strong thunderstorm will...
I did not expect KYT to take this.
The National Weather Service in Oxnard has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Ventura County in southwestern California, northwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 4:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 3:52 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles northwest of Santa Clarita, moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. Hazard, 60 miles an hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Santa Clarita, Castaic Lake, Pyramid Lake, Interstate 5 Little Grapevine, and Highway 138 between Quail Lake and Lancaster. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways.
Inflammatory joint nutrition to stop cold, but recovery from her broken leg is slow and arduous.
Well, they had to put 4.
One thing, we do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those.
The war in Ukraine and the ABC News exclusive. David Muir is inside Ukraine and just sat down with President Volodymyr Zelensky. What the president said about what the Russians are doing at the embattled nuclear power plant as Ukraine claims progress in its counteroffensive, saying it has taken over villages in the south seized by the Russians early in the war. But civilians continue to be caught in the crossfire. Tom Sufi Burridge also in Ukraine tonight. Former President Trump hits the campaign trail, speaking publicly for the first time since the Mar-a-Lago search, teasing another run for the White House, just days after President Biden, in a speech to the nation, argued Trump is a threat to democracy. Zareen Shaw with what the back and forth could mean for the critical midterms and control of Congress. An arrest in the case of the missing jogger in Memphis. The suspect charged with kidnapping and tampering with evidence. What investigators are learning about the disappearance of the teacher and mother of 2. The travel rebound, Americans taking to the roads and to the skies, squeezing in one last taste of summer travel. The best time to hit the road and when not to. News on those new COVID boosters, major chains now offering appointments as officials urge people to get the shot. The historic launch scrubbed. America's return to the moon on hold. When does NASA think it can try again?
Yeah, this show does it really
And
quietly.
Uvalde Strong, the football
They
team.
can't trust to mute their programming during
The
it.
next few days, possibly.
Didn't stop people from enjoying the town.
The Danish capital of America, Solvang, remained busy with locals and tourists in the midst of the Labor Day heat.
It's a lot cooler than it has been this past week.
Mom, play the tones.
For sure. It's still pretty hot though.
Tourists traveled from northern and
scroll
southern
only.
California to cool down on the Central Coast.
Which is very weird.
We need to head down to the beach, get into some water, cool down a little bit. But yeah, it's been a fun weekend so far.
Yeah. Tourists from the Bay Area say they are not used to this late summer heat wave.
Definitely, it's really hot. I think it's hotter than Maine, I guess.
I don't know why
Visitors
the
say
audio
they
didn't
enjoyed
play.
Danish bacon.
National Weather Service in Oxnard has issued a severe thunderstorm thunderstorm warning for northeastern Ventura County in southwestern California, northwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 4:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 3:52 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles northwest of Santa Clarita, moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. Hazard, 60 miles an hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Santa Clarita, Castaic Lake, Pyramid Lake, Interstate 5 over the Grapevine, and Highway 138 between Quail Lake and Lancaster. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways.
For children, a teacher and a para, I think is a bit of a stretch anyway, but it is.
Oh my!
Starburst, unexplained.
For me, and I said, James Brolin, are you sure? James Brolin said,
Rachel's really the one who's pregnant?
what?
Educate the masses. So we have done that by grouping kids into groups that we thought were manageable. And usually they are, but not with some of these kids that have trauma. Education is heavily aimed at the cortex because this is the most adaptable, fastest learning part of our brain.
Can't this
what we are now learning is that the lower reaches of the brain is not a quick learner. It tends to be much
its ideals and take care of its own.
Warning for Ventura County in southwestern California, northwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 5:15 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 4:33 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 14 miles north of Fillmore, moving northwest at 20 miles an hour. Hazard, 60 miles an hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Source, radar and automated weather station. Impact, expects damage to roof, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Lockwood Valley, toward October Peak, Alamo Mountain, Williams Peak, Pyramid Lake, and Interstate 5 over the Grapevine. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and limiting to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. The following is a summary of watches.
Alright. Try to remind my brother, but he couldn't hear me. So. Let's go to channel 12.
Counts to make ends meet.
Any plans for a return to the acting scene in the near future?
Army is now backing up.
There you go.
The National Weather Service in Oxnard has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Ventura County in southwestern California, northwestern Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 5:15 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 4:33 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 14 miles north of Fillmore. Impact, expects damage to roof, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Lockwood Valley to Watauga Peak,
vehicle through flooded roadways.
His struggles off and on the court.
You would come.
Early payday.
It's all blank green! What the?
It should be. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
Giorgio, look. The peanut butter box is here.
Ralph, that's the Chewy Pharmacy box with our flea and tick meds. It's not peanut butter.
The peanut butter box is here.
Pet prescriptions delivered to your door. Chewy.
The people have spoken, and y'all are going crazy for Papa John's epic pepperoni stuffed crust pizza, because this ain't just any old stuffed crust. No, it's Papa John's signature pepperoni hand stuffed into that Papa John's crust. If you know, you know.
I told you, I'm bad nuts. Have you seen that defense? All right, bye. Hey, I'm just trying to buy these.
I think you may need one of these, too.
Really? Yeah, I'm just messing with you. All right, that's good.
Weekend.
Enjoy the game.
Welcome to Xfinity Kickoff Week.
Remember, it was a year ago on this ABC Sunday night opening weekend spot that Brian Kelly also faced Florida State. Notre Dame was in Tallahassee and became an absolute wild one. The Irish won in overtime. Just a sampling of so much overlap these coaches, these staffs have against each other. Kelly against Norvell. Even on the coordinator level, there have been head-to-head. LSU won the toss. They elect to receive.
For these, both systems kind of turning off into the Atlantic no man's land, which is good news. Now back to our neighborhood, the Eastern Pacific. This is where it gets interesting. I just told you that Monsoon is fairly far to our east, but look at that right there. That's Javier, and Javier has come very close to Southern California. I'll show you how the radar echoes are showing some rain close by. And then down to our south, that's soon to be K. In fact, could be K within about 24 hours, maybe even less. And K is expected to go right up the Baja coast as well, maybe Mexico, etc.
have to hold this with
Baja,
my neck.
and even some maps have it showing up, going up through the Sea of Cortez, which is really interesting. Has happened before. Maybe some rain out of that, which is
The National Weather Service in Oxnard has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for north central Los Angeles County in southwestern California until 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. At 4:37 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Palmdale, moving northwest at 15 miles an hour. Hazard, 60 miles an hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Lancaster, Palmdale, Court Hill, and Desert View Highlands. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Large hail and damaging winds and continuous cloud-to-ground lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately. Lightning is one of nature's leading killers. Remember, if you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways.
The News Hour. Invigorating dramas.
Oh, you can have it. You want?
severe thunderstorm was located 12 miles northeast of Ludlow, 22 miles southwest of Kelso, moving west 30 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Report. Radar intact. Intact. Vehicle dispatch. Until 9 p.m. for the following counties.